I'm giving myself 6 months to launch an art business from scratch, and starting a business can be very overwhelming. There's a lot of work that goes into it, there's so much research to do and so many steps to take. But the best way to reduce overwhelm is to build simple systems that support the work. So month one for me has been all about foundation and brand clarity. So in this video, I want to show you guys how I'm setting up organization and mindset systems to build the foundation and brand for my creative business. Hey everyone, it's Katia and welcome back to Small Beginnings. As someone who loves to be creative but really struggles with feeling overwhelmed and a bit driven to anxiety sometimes, it's really important for me to make systems for myself so that I'm able to get things done, to finish projects, to even start creative projects. But sharing these videos, I just hope that it helps someone who has this fearful mindset surrounding creativity and art and doesn't want to create from a place of fear, but wants to create from a place of curiosity, from a place of inspiration, from a place of confidence and assurance and personal growth, because being creative is a personal growth journey, I believe. So these videos are dedicated to my sometimes anxious creatives, okay? My people. We're going to talk about time management first.
Hey guys, so just a little update about how I'm doing mentally. I am finding it so difficult to go to work and then come back and making sure that I eat, exercise, all those good things that I need to do, and then work on my small business and then get a good amount of rest. I just feel like I'm not getting rest. I feel super duper sluggish, and this is not as fun when you are lethargic or you're just tired. And so I'm trying to find a good balance between making sure I have a good amount of time to do what I want to do when I do get home from work while getting rest too. As far as the whole mindset thing and just continuing to have faith and believing that you can do something, surprisingly hasn't been the hugest challenge. I think my hugest challenge this week has been rest, which is crazy. That's one of the toughest things, is feeling like after you work on something, you don't feel like you really did anything because of how short it felt. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys for tuning into my little TED Talk.
I felt like I was thinking that I had this laundry list of things to do and I just had to get to all of them or else the day was a failure. One of the things that has helped me a lot week to week and day to day, I identify the 3 most important tasks that will move my business forward that day and that week. This way it prevents you feeling extremely overwhelmed by this super long list of things to do. I started this top 3 priorities thing in my normal planner, and then I kind of adopted it in my 6-month roadmap. And then I have a daily log. So this is something new that I've started doing. Having this daily log, I feel like, has been helping me keep track of what am I actively doing that is pushing this business forward. So again, I have my top 3 priorities at the top. Underneath that, I just list out what I did that day. So I'll be able to see, okay, everything I worked on that day, was it underneath the umbrella of these priorities? If they were, then I know that I'm actually pushing the needle forward. And I feel like I didn't do that great of a job of it for week 2, which is why I kind of felt all over the place and overwhelmed and was staying up super late for no good reason. So obviously, if we're going to start a small business, if we're going to start any business, you need a budget. You need to know where the money is coming from, where the money is going. It doesn't even have to be some big thing, just having a small little spreadsheet. And it's really easy to make a simple Google spreadsheet. But I am a template girly. I love a good template. So I got my template from J. Wren Digitals, and I think they're super cute. This one is a bit on the more elaborate side, but I really, really wanted to just start off with a nice, good template. Also, having a budget is allowing me to figure out how to allocate my money. Right now, I'm still undecided whether I want to go through with getting the equipment to make stickers and prints and things like that, or getting them printed with a third-party company. Obviously, if I do a DIY, it will add to my budget. So I'm just trying to figure out what works best for my specific situation. Everybody's situation is going to be different. That is something I'm taking into consideration within my budget. Next, we're going to talk about organization. I have a lot of research that I've been gathering for my small business and creative ideas that I've been also putting in my journals and sticky notes all over the place. So it's where am I going to organize all this stuff? Month one has been all about foundation and brand clarity. Where am I keeping all this? What is my ecosystem? Where is my little hub? And for me, I love Notion. Notion is that girl. I use a lot of different systems, I guess, to keep me organized, like my planner, my thinking journal. I love me a good Google Doc, but Notion has definitely been that central hub for me. It is a learning curve, but I feel once you really get a handle on it, it is so easy and so fun, especially when it comes to my creative ideas. So this is my central hub. I have my journals, my Jesus Time page. Creatively, I keep everything in my art content library. I have a reading log here. Underneath that, we have our writer era, okay? And then we have our small business page too. That is where I keep all my information about the small business, the research I'm doing, all the products I'm going to be selling. All that information is right there. But I want to take y'all to the art content library. And this is where everything Creativity Central is organized. Because this month has been all about foundation and brand clarity, that was definitely just finalizing pretty much everything that defines my brand in this section. It still is a work in progress. My Notion has been something that I've been just slowly working on as time has gone on. The last little Notion system I want to show you is my work in progress page for my YouTube projects. This is where I kind of store all the ideas for my YouTube videos. All projects, completed projects, brainstorming in progress ideas, and I have a specific tab for my 6-month plan videos. Inside, I just have a few questions that I ask myself to make sure that the video is answering these questions and is fulfilling these purposes. We keep an ideas tab, a checklist tab, which I haven't checked these off yet, and then I have a link to the script, the title, the captions, the tags, the thumbnail, and the community post. So that is just another system I use that has been super duper helpful in terms of organizing content planning. I also would love to provide templates for you guys. So if any of you guys would like for me to create these templates, let me know if this is something that you want, and I would love to share them with you from one slightly anxious creative to another, because it really be hard out here. And if a system ever just stops working for you, you can always pivot. These things are meant to trap you. They're meant to give you as much freedom as possible. So I've been talking a lot about digital systems, but now we're going to start getting into our mindset systems, the systems that help you stay sane. When I get really overwhelmed with the business side of things, if I have time on my hands, I will just put that all down and just make art. I had a very stressful day or two, and I think I just needed to draw a little bit to ground me, to be creative again, because there was a moment in time where I was just trying to formulate, the business plans and things like that, trying to formulate what I was going to do next, try to formulate my roadmap, and I've kind of been neglecting just drawing, and I really underrate how much it does for me stress wise. It just makes me feel so much better. It's crazy how much it can ground you. Yeah, I just wanted to share that because it's day 4 and we already had some minor panics, and I think it's just great how I can always come back to art. I just got really, really stressed one day, and this was in the early stages. I feel as I'm going through this, I'm getting more accustomed to problem solving and figuring it out as I go, but I think it is good to reset sometimes. Anytime I've needed to reset, I've just started making art. So that way I am not only relieving stress, but I am also working on my products and my prints and my stickers. It also reminds me, okay, we're not just doing a whole bunch of hullabaloo. We're actually doing this to make some art and to share art and be creative. And you don't even have to just reset with art. Sometimes I reset with a good prayer. You can reset with a nap. Just resetting with something that will keep you grounded, that'll help you get excited again, inspired again. It helps me come back feeling a little less attached to this idea of perfection and this standard, what something should be in my head. Another mindset system I set for myself is doing check-ins, but specifically I call them self-aware notes. This has been really helpful to me in my mental health and my creative journey. So basically, anytime I have a thought, a negative thought, a limiting thought, just something that I observe that is just reverberating in my brain that has kind of plummeted my energy or plummeted my excitement, you just get this like slight feeling of dread when you're making something and it's like, what is that thought that just made me feel so low just now? I just grab a hold of that thought and write it down. Let's investigate this thought and let's evaluate it. Let's figure it out. Let's not just let it sit there. So this is from an actual example of one of my self-aware notes. I was thinking about making art, and then I felt this feeling of dread come over me. And then I realized that I am scared to make art. I am terrified to make art. I'm just like, okay, why are we scared to make art? Let's figure this out. So I took a sticky note, I wrote it down. And so exploring that feeling a little bit more made me realize I'm scared to make art because I feel like my art is a direct reflection of who I am as a person. So if my art sucks, I suck. And that is genuinely like how I was feeling. And I was like, okay, well, yeah. And I think it's important to acknowledge these thoughts and acknowledge these feelings so that you're not holding on to them, that you're not carrying these like lies, that you can just call them out and see them for what they really are. It's just fear, it's just anxiety, it's just this thing that is trying to keep you paralyzed. Fear and these things are, they serve a purpose, but when it keeps you from doing anything that you're passionate about just because you're too scared, like I feel like I've been in that for too long. That is just no way to live. And so doing these self-aware notes has really helped me call out these thoughts and feelings that I have, these insecurities that I have, and has helped me navigate it, explore it a little bit more, and understand where it's coming from. And when you're able to call it out, that's when it holds less power over you. And then you're able to seek resources. For me, it's prayer. It's also been books on creativity. Doing these self-aware notes, especially as I'm starting my small business. This is a challenge. I mean, this is not a small feat to do. It does take a lot of effort and it does take a lot of determination and faith. It's going to be normal when you have those feelings of fear and you overthink a lot. So checking in with myself regularly has helped me more aware of the role that fear and anxiety play in my personal life and in my creativity. So yeah, I love my little self-aware notes. I even have like a little Notion page for my self-aware notes because I can't just keep putting these sticky notes everywhere. So these are the immediate systems that I can think of that have been very, very helpful for me so far in my journey to creating my small business, my little art shop. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope these small systems that I have been taking on are helpful to you. I'll see you guys soon in my next video.